Thanks, Elaine. That's right. Earlier, I spoke to Bruce Schneier, an American cryptographer and cybersecurity expert. I asked him if the U.S. was alone in conducting foreign espionage, or did other countries also engage in spying?
I think pretty much everyone does it. The United States has a privileged position on the internet, allowing them to spy more and more efficiently. But it is an open secret that all nations engage in espionage on friends, on enemies, on friends that could be enemies, and enemies that could be friends.
And when we look at what has happened here, it would seem to be more of an embarrassment for President Obama more than anything else. But has there any other kind of damage been done here? Diplomatic damage, for instance?
Well, there is. What the documents do is make these things real. That it's easy for countries to ignore or to talk about things among themselves quietly when it's just a rumor, when it's just things we know. When a document appears, when it appears in public, there has to be a public reaction, and that changes the dynamic. And we're seeing that with the United States and many countries right now.
Well, I guess the fundamental rule then is if all countries do it, the secret is don't get caught.
Right, the rule is don't get caught. And traditionally, the NSA is very conservative and very risk-averse about what they do. The problem is that Edward Snowden grabbed thousands of documents, and they're slowly becoming public, and we're learning about spying against France, against Germany, against Belgium, against Brazil, against Mexico, operations against China, and then these are becoming real, and they're becoming part of the political debate.
And here again, there is more evidence that there was a major weakness in which the NSA surveillance system is set up, that one person had access to all this information.
Well, it was definitely a weakness in the way their internal computer systems were set up, that one person was able to go from server to server and collect all of these documents and to leave with them without being detected, without being noticed. I don't know if the NSA at this point knows what was taken, because the administrators had such low-level access to so many things.
When we look at countries like Germany and France, or Brazil, or Mexico for that matter, can these countries retaliate in a technical sense in any way?
Well, I don't know what retaliation really means. Certainly these countries are spying on each other in the United States, but the United States, because of where it sits on the internet, has such a privileged position that it's hard to do the same thing if you're another country. The U.S. is larger, has a bigger budget. So really it's countries like the United States, China, Russia, that are the big boys here, and some of the European countries are just not in the same league.
Right, or if I could put it another way, can these countries take steps technically to stop this?
Well, the countries can take steps to limit NSA spying, and a lot of it has to do with encrypting information as it goes through the internet, as it goes through the phone network. Right now, these systems are largely wide open, that if you have access to the network, you can eavesdrop on it. There are things we can do to make spying harder. It doesn't make it impossible, but it stops this wholesale gathering of everything and forces intelligence organizations to target their espionage.
Is this legal?
It seems it is, that there are no laws that prevent countries from spying on each other. Countries have laws about what they can do to their own citizens, but they stop at the border. There is no law preventing one country from spying on another. The UN doesn't prohibit it, and national laws don't prohibit it.
Okay, so we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks for joining us.